I found him standing in my barn, on my grandfather's cedar workbench, no less, waving like he was giving a tour of a museum. "Mornin', neighbor," he said, like nothing was wrong. Like this wasn't my private property, and he wasn't stealing from it in broad daylight. 2 workers were hauling bales of my hay onto his trailer. He smiled. "Figured I'd get my place cleaned up. Your old barn's perfect for overflow." I froze. I thought maybe I misheard him. His place? No. This barn sat on my land. Always had. Always will. I told him just that, but he didn't even blink. "You haven't used it in half a year," he said. "The HOA board agrees. Abandoned outbuildings revert to the nearest active lot." I should have laughed, but I didn't. I asked him to show me the clause. He handed me a glossy pamphlet, highlighted like a 5th grader's science notes. It was HOA paint code nonsense, nothing about ownership. But he looked proud, smug even. "Interpretation is everything," he shrugged. "The president agreed yesterday. Consensus rules." That's when I knew I wasn't just dealing with a trespasser. I was dealing with a full-blown HOA coup. See, 6 months back, I took a contract flying aerial survey routes for an engineering firm. That meant weeks away, sometimes months. The barn sat quiet, sure, but that didn't make it fair game. I pulled out my phone, snapped pictures, license plates, faces, Gary's self-satisfied smirk. He laughed. "Pictures won't change community decisions," he said. "Private security responds faster than deputies." I told him I wasn't disputing. I was stating. He was trespassing. He walked up, got real close. "Let it go," he said. "You fly around, collect your checks. I'll keep the place useful." Behind him, that damn lilac convertible rolled up. Karen, the HOA secretary, phone already out, recording. "Documenting hostile behavior," she said, like it was rehearsed. "HOA says he's the hostile party now." I was boiling inside, but I didn't show it. I walked to my truck, grabbed a manila envelope, and laid a photo across the hood, my grandfather's photo of the barn under construction. Then I called the county recorder's office, put it on speaker, and asked for a certified copy of my parcel deed. The clerk knew me by name. "Yes, sir," she said. "That barn falls squarely on your lot. Coordinates match down to the inch." Gary didn't flinch. Karen piped up. "HOA resolutions override amateur maps." I hung up. "No resolution strips a deed," I said. "And you're moving stolen goods. Last chance." Gary didn't stop. So I drove my truck right up to the barn doors, parked across them, and killed the engine. That got the workers nervous. Gary, not so much. "Get a court order," he spat. "I'm done talking," I replied. By lunchtime, the board had summoned me. Friendly sit-down, they called it. Marvin, the president, retired dentist, with too much time and too little backbone, hosted. Gary and Karen sat across from me like royalty. Marvin cleared his throat. "We're here to maintain harmony." Gary's proactive approach impressed us. "Harmony?" I said. "You break into my barn and steal from it, and I'm the one disrupting harmony?" One of the other board members suggested a small compensation if I signed over the barn. I laughed in his face. Marvin frowned. "Refusal invites fines," he warned. "Exterior wear, rodent risk, $500 assessed this morning." I wrote that down in my notebook. Bold letters. Retaliatory fine. Illegal. State Statute 32.6. "Keep stacking them," I said. "My attorney likes easy wins." Karen stood up. "You're being aggressive." "Defending what's mine isn't aggression," I said. I walked out. That night, I installed cameras, low enough to catch plates, high enough to catch faces. Set smart padlocks that pinged my phone. Then I dug into case law like my life depended on it. Adverse possession, quiet title, HOA abuse. Drafted cease and desist letters, certified and stamped. Sent them to everyone. My attorney, Lydia, got back to me before 9 a.m. Sharp. Strong case. Start with a temporary restraining order. 10 minutes after forwarding her email, Marvin called me. "Let's not take this to court," he begged. "You'll poison neighbor relations." "Gary already did that," I said. "Now he gets the paper war he asked for." 2 quiet days. Then the barn sensor pinged. Gary was inside again, with a handyman. They'd cut my lock. I called 911. "Any weapons involved?" the dispatcher asked. "Just arrogance," I said, "but that's plenty." Deputies rolled up in 12 minutes. I handed over deeds, timestamps, photos, the cease and desist. The lead deputy walked in badge first and walked out with Gary in cuffs. Karen showed up mid-arrest, shrieking about eminent domain by HOA. The deputy shook his head. "That's not how eminent domain works, ma'am." The next week, I cleared out the entire barn. Inventory, photos, storage. Posted laminated signs citing state trespass law. Karen cruised by, phone out. "Overkill," she yelled. I kept stacking boxes. Gary left me a letter under the door, demanding his old blankets back, threatening me with theft charges. I offered to return them, under police supervision. He never replied. Then came the retaliation. My truck keyed in a grocery lot. "For sale by bank" sign popped up on my lawn. HOA fines rained down. Mailbox paint. Hedges too tall. Whatever they could invent. I didn't pay a dime. Lydia filed a counterclaim for retaliatory enforcement and abuse of power. She asked the court to remove the board entirely. Emergency meeting followed. Marvin offered a settlement. Transfer the barn, clear all fines, no more conflict. I told them, "You reimburse my legal fees, apologize publicly, and resign. Or we continue." Marvin stuttered. Meeting ended in chaos. Then came the final nail. The county surveyor's sealed report. Every inch of that barn, mine. No ambiguity. That document blew their case to dust. Gary tried one last stunt. Built a fence 6 inches inside my property line. Posted a cardboard sign. "Future community storage." I didn't tear it down. I let the deputies film it. Karen burst outside in her robe. "Eminent domain!" she shrieked again. Another citation followed. Lydia filed for expedited relief. The hearing was set. 2 weeks later. In court, Lydia brought fire. Survey, deeds, video of Gary boasting. Karen calling private security like she was running a mini-state. Judge Caldwell watched in silence. Then he asked me, "Why do you care so much about a barn?" I told him, "My grandfather built it with his own hands. Losing it would be like erasing his name." Then he added, "But even without the sentiment, a deed is a deed. If we compromise title because it's convenient, every foundation crumbles." Verdict came swift. Permanent injunction. Fence removal. All fines voided. Gary and the board, personally liable for $152,000 in damages, plus attorney fees, plus probation for Gary. The fallout was fast. Recall, vote passed. Marvin vanished behind curtains. Karen's apology letter arrived on cream-colored stationery. I pinned it to the barn wall like a trophy. The barn? It thrived. Kids came for woodworking lessons. Veterans dropped off tools. We turned it into a craft center, under my terms, on my land. Gary tried listing me as a reference. I told the property manager, "We're in active litigation." That was that. Karen went quiet, showed up at meetings without her phone, socially exiled. Marvin's lien drained his pension. The barn became the pride of the neighborhood. Not because I won, but because I rebuilt. And when the final lien cleared, I climbed to the loft and wrote 2 more words under the first. It paid in full. Now let me ask you this. And what would you do if someone claimed your legacy as their own?